So, hi everybody. Hi Lily. We are in the high country again, as we like to do once a year. Every summer we bring the ponies and we come for a ride. We go camping for the weekend. We're at Tom Grogan again. We camped at the horse camp, which is such a nice campground. It's right on the river. It's got yards. The Brumbies came to visit last night, which we're not going to get into Brumbies. And we went for a ride yesterday. We went north up the National Trail for a little while and came back, and we went for a drive, four-wheel drive also into this side, into Victoria, because we camped on New South Wales side. Went for a drive into Victoria to Davy's Hut. We went and checked that out, and then we went back. And this morning we've set off. We've just crossed the Murray River, which I'll put in. We took some video of, and now we're headed off up the National Trail. I believe it's also Tom Grogan track. So yeah, we'll throw in some scenery as we go along. So we headed off on the Friday morning around 3:30, I think. Headed off down the freeway. We stopped at Gundagai here and got the horses off for a stretch, just because we can. They're so good that to unload and reload anywhere. Reese always likes to get off and have a wee. And then we loaded back up and kept going. We go in through Cancoban and down the Alpine Way. The first year we went through Jindabyne, and it was a much harder drive. There was a lot more long downhill stretches that I just find it's like technically longer in time wise the way we go in, but it's a shorter part when it comes to the hard parts. So we take the smaller float now that's not triaxle, and it's lighter, it's smaller, it's just a bit easier all round and still does the job. That big grassy area just there's a heap of Brumbies in there. We count 4 mobs, I think, on the Friday afternoon as we ride north. It's probably about 30 of them. The turn off for the horse campground is a little way, probably half a K, I think, further north than the turn off to the main Tom Grogan campground. It's good that they have this whole separate horse camp. There's a few horse camps along here. This one is the one that I feel by far is the nicest. It's such a lovely place right on the river. It's so many kangaroos, which is of course to be expected. But we don't have kangaroos where we live, on our property anyway. There are kangaroos around, but for some reason we don't have them on our place. We don't have many in the area, or the immediate area, but so our horses really aren't used to them, and every time that we go here or a place that has them, they have to get used to them all over again. This is where we camped. That's the yard where we put our horses. We set up, we did a lap around and came in and set up just there near the gate, which you'll see in a little bit. They say you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. But our horses are pretty consistent. They pretty much always drink. The water was a very comfortable temperature too. We got the horses all settled in. We went for a drive. We went over the Murray and we went up to Davy's, I want to say Davy's Plain Hut. And there was some big long pulls up there going up the hills that never end in the high country. And this is the video driving back across the Murray, heading from Victoria back into New South Wales. It's quite low at the moment. Well, not low. I wouldn't say low. It's quite a good depth. It's not deep. There was no concerns crossing it, driving or riding. There is.
You didn't know it, did you? Let's not play that game, dude. I put my phone in my saddlebag, which is probably dangerous, because then, like...
Mine's in my boob.
Yes,
Reese
mine's
is
going to fall straight out of my boob.
not mentally prepared to
No.
stand still unless it's his choice right now. Is it recording?
The red light's flashing.
Yep.
So we've got good view of all the brumbies.
Ah.
Wow. Chill, dude.
Reese is not chill, dude, right now.
There's a lot going on, to be fair.
What are these hoppy things? We don't have them at home. I forget about them until I come here every year.
And there's horses, which actually Bumper's not even really looking at. Now he's looking at horses.
Well, those hoppy things are going to move again shortly.
Bumper's...
This is our first ride on the Friday afternoon. The horses are feeling very fresh and they're remembering about kangaroos. And there's brumbies up there on the hill. It's all a bit spooky and they were feeling very fresh. Reese was especially anyway. It was, you know, they get in that phase where I cannot stand still unless I decide that I'm going to stand still and stare intently at something. So it was a bit spicy to start with. I'd like to say that he really chilled out over the weekend, but he was still marching forward at an impressive pace by Sunday when we headed home, which I suppose is good. This is our ride south on Saturday morning. This was the first water crossing. It was probably about a K from camp. It's a nice little way to get their feet wet before we cross the Murray. They're both pretty good with water nowadays after Bumper's very first time spending 2.5 hours to get into a water jump at the cross country clinic at Canberra. He's much better nowadays.
So fucking jumpy. Sorry, I think he's having a dream. He's not now.
Into Victoria. This area on the right behind the fence, that's Tom Grogan Station, which is private. And where we just were, that was Dogman's hut. We're going that way, straight ahead from where we are. That track just goes down to the river.
It's gorgeous.
Absolutely beautiful. Cows, bumpy cows. This hill is one of those hills that they have down there in the high country that just never end. You just keep going up and up and up. And they never look as steep in videos. I watch a lot of four-wheel driving videos and they never look as steep as they do in real life. It was so big, such a huge hill that we rode up some of it and then we both walked up the rest of it. It was such a big one. sandwich. I like sandwich, Lily. Sharing's caring. So we're on our way back now. We came from that way, but we'd ridden, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours? Hour and a half, I think, when we stopped at the Dogman's hut down there. But we're actually camped just there on the other side of the river where those trees are. That's where our camp is at Tom Grogan Horse Camp.
It's a long way to get back there though, for not very far.
It is. We've trekked a long way to be so very close to where we're camped. But that's why we do these things, isn't it?
It's good fun.
It's fun.
It is lovely.
Isn't it fun, boys?
I'd say they were the ones that had to trek straight up that hill, but I got off and walked it too, so.
Yeah, they did not think that hill that we just came down was all that fun going up or going down it. But anyway. On the way across. Just there on the right, you see the road. That's the entrance to the main Tom Grogan campground off Alpine Way. You follow that road when you're riding down to cross the Murray River and head into the south side, into the four-wheel drive tracks. That's the main area where you have to be considerate of traffic, which everybody's very good, you know. It's a campground. I think it's signposted as a shared zone for campers as well. So it's always been very good every time we've ridden through there, which has been a few times now. Everybody has been very respectful when they see you. Lots of people are very excited and amazed to see horses being ridden there, and often will stop and ask you where you're from and whatnot, and are often amazed that we've brought our own horses down here to go riding in the high country, which to us as horse people, that's not out of the ordinary at all, but for other people, I guess it's pretty exciting and something that a lot of people had dreamed to do. And sometimes it's easy to forget that while we're doing these things regularly, just because we can. That, you know, we need to stop and remember sometimes that it's other people's, like, things on their bucket list. And it's just something that we do reasonably often. the river where we are camped. Bumper gets tied up at tea time because he takes Reese's dinner. He's so mean. Hello, pretty boy. You're Mummy's pretty boy, aren't you? It's a beautiful Sunday morning. We haven't had breakfast or started to pack up or anything yet, but we'll be going home today. We'll go for a ride first, and then we'll pack away and head home. Hello, boys. They've been looking at me ever since I got up, going, feed us some more. There's plenty of hay still in there, boys, if you were actually hungry. And I did feed you like 2 hours ago. But anyway, we're starving. This is base camp. We're pretty good at camping. We camp a lot without the horses. And yeah, we enjoy it. We're pretty efficient at it. We're pretty happy in the bush camping. With or without the float. That's why it doesn't matter if we bring a different float. But yeah, this has been the boys' home for the last couple of days. It's just awesome here at Tom Grogan Horse Camp. There's a couple of yards. We always bring yard panels just in case. But there's a couple of permanent yards. There's toilets over there, which is not a requirement, but it's handy. It's right on the river. It's just lovely, and you get views like that all around us. It's just awesome. There's a lot of brumbies here. You know, we've seen 4 different mobs within 2 k's of camp. They came down into camp on Friday night. They didn't come down last night, or if they did, they were much quieter about it. And these guys were pretty restless on Friday night when they came down, and they didn't get restless last night. They were quite happy, although they may have been just knackered after our ride yesterday. But yeah, this has been home for a couple of days, and I always love it here. This is the second time we've brought the horses here. If you've watched our other videos, you might have seen. But yeah, it's an awesome place to come and camp, even without the horses, because it's just so nice. This is Sunday morning. We headed south again. We went to go for a ride around the Tom Grogan campground and into the bush off the side of that, which we've never done before. And it was another beautiful morning, as you can see. Lily got some really nice photos with a proper camera with the morning light, but I'm really not that bad with technology. But Dropbox is arguing with me. I can't download any of them. So there's none of those in here. But she did take some really nice ones. And of course the iconic Australian bush shots involving kangaroos, because there's plenty of those. There she is, taking those really nice photos. Doesn't matter how many times Bumper crosses the same creeks, rivers, he always has to stop and have a look, just to make sure it's safe before he goes in, I think. Don't just go barging into it, Bruce. Not sure where Reese is going here. I think so. This is down in the main Tom Grogan campground. We're over in the horse camp where there's yards. But yeah, this is down the bottom of the big campground. Starving. Now unpack this. This is on the eastern side of the road that goes into the campground from Alpine Way to the Murray River. It's kind of fenced off, like not people fenced, but like you can't drive in this side. And there's a couple of gateways that you can walk and ride through to go exploring up in the bush a bit, which we did. And then we headed back to camp to pack up and head home. We were so lucky with the weather because, you know, we plan these things however long in advance. You can't predict the weather that good. And between Lily and I and life and work and stuff, that when we're going to go is the only time we have to go. So it was very lucky that we ended up in a really good weather to do it. It was actually even luckier than I expected it to be, because you can see it's getting a bit less nice there now. And it actually started storming after we left, and we drove through some pretty good rain most of the way home. We stopped at Coolac and got the horses off for a stretch, and it had just stopped raining there when we did it. And yeah, so we drove through it, but we weren't really in the midst of it, and I'm pretty sure it was not raining by the time we got home, so that was nice to unload in. And I don't think we unpacked that Sunday afternoon, I don't remember. But I'm going to go with probably not. I feel it was probably a Monday job. But yeah, that was our weekend in the high country. We had a wow of a time. We always do. It's always nice to get away. It's always nice to come home too. Thanks for watching. See you next time.